For today's cup of coffee, our world has gone totally, completely mad, if you haven't noticed. And one of the things I do have to do to try to find our stories is go through headlines. And sometimes it takes a greater toll on me than it does others. I don't know. I think I have totally gone into hermit mode. And I try not to inflict myself on others when I'm like this. Today's, God help us. That's all I can say. Maybe I need to start these cups of coffee out with prayer. This comes from Daily Mail and is by Emily Joshu, and this was September the 19th of 2023. A panel of government health advisors will meet on September the 19th, 2023, to discuss the ethics of growing babies in artificial wombs. The technology has successfully developed in several animals in recent years, prompting the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, to consider whether it should be trialed in humans. Many experts believe it could be a game changer if used to mimic the conditions of a womb and help treat health complications in the growing number of premature babies in the U.S. Now, we'll say this. Read between the lines, because that's what you have to do with any of these quote-unquote news stories. What are they really trying to say on some of this stuff? Because it rarely has to do with the pages, with the type on the pages or the screen or whatever the hell that they're showing these days. It says, before the advance can be used in humans, researchers will have to show that the device helps infants grow and develop with lower chances of health issues than with existing technology. The Pediatric Advisory Committee, an independent panel of health experts, are meeting September the 19th and the 20th via teleconference. Though the two-day meeting will help guide the agency, the FDA will make its own decision and is not required to follow the advisor's guidance or anybody else's. At this stage, the artificial wombs aren't designed to grow a baby from scratch, although advances in the field have led some to believe that that is on the horizon. Oh, you bet your ass it is. Instead, they would be used to care for the 1 in 100 infants born before 28 weeks gestation, which is considered extremely preterm. It could also combat the infant mortality rate in the U.S., which experts have warned is so much higher than in other developed countries. Unlike conventional incubators in the neonatal intensive care units, this technique uses an extra-uterine support device which mimics the conditions of a real womb. Bullshit. No, you cannot have a Ziploc baggie and expect that to take the place of the womb of a mother. The infant's heart circulates blood through the umbilical cord into a machine that takes the place of the mother's placenta. Synthetic amniotic fluid enriched with nutrients flows in and out of the temperature-controlled, near-sterile bio bag. The aim is to provide an environment in which tiny premature babies can safely develop their lungs and other organs during the critical period from the 23 to 28 weeks after conception. This technology, so are they saying that actually from 23 to 28 after conception is a baby? That's how I interpret that, but that's just me. This technology is still new, but mostly used in animals. Mostly used in animals. Okay, what else are they using it with? And in 2017 study, a group of researchers at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia tested the technology for the first time and kept a premature lamb alive for 28 days in a sterilized plastic bag filled with fluid. But these artificial wombs, researchers had only been able to keep a lamb alive or before the artificial womb, they had only been able to keep a lamb alive in an artificial system for 60 hours, and those lambs suffered severe brain damage. And then later that year, a team in Australia replicated the device and named it the Exo Vivo Uterine Environment, or EVE. Now that's a slap in the face right there. That is just these people, the forces of darkness, they are truly rubbing our noses in shit right now. And if you're not aware of that, then become aware. In 2021, researchers at the University of Toronto tested an artificial placenta in fetal pigs, but they recorded blood circulation and heart issues. Earlier in September, a team of scientists at the Weizmann Institute of Science in Israel grew an entity close to a human embryo without using sperm, eggs, or a womb. An entity. Let that sink in just a second. The embryo even released enough of the hormone pregnant women produce that turns a pregnancy test positive, resulting in a positive test result in the lab. Artificial wombs could reduce complications of premature births, which have reached record highs in the U.S. A report published last year by nonprofit group March of Dimes found that 10.5% of U.S. births were premature, meaning that they occurred before 37 weeks gestation. That is a 4% increase since 2020 and is the highest figure to date. The researchers warned that the country was at a critical moment, and experts sounded the alarm that the U.S. was failing moms and babies. They're failing everybody right now. Mississippi had the highest premature birth rate in the nation at 15% of all births, followed by Louisiana at 13.5%, and then Alabama at 13.1%. And they've got all these charts and stuff. The link to the article will be in the description box, and you can go and look at their little charts. And believe them if at your own peril. Rising rates of obesity and associated conditions such as type 2 diabetes were thought to be behind the rise, as well as a strain on healthcare services due to the COVID pandemic. That's what they're saying. That's their story, and they're sticking to it. An infant's lungs and brain finish developing late in pregnancy, so those born prematurely are at risk for health problems like trouble breathing, gastrointestinal issues. It's been a long day. Vision and hearing problems and developmental delays. Yes, that means it's a special needs child, and so that means government funds. Yeah. The report that also showed that America's infant mortality rate dropped 3.7% last year to 5.4 per 1,000. But experts warned this remained so much higher than other developed countries. The UK, France, Sweden, and other European nations have significantly lower rates. Yes, because they don't allow a lot of the filth in their food that the FDA allows over here. Most of the preservatives and all this other stuff, they're banned in some of those other countries. So there's so much for the FDA on that. It says the first day of the panel's hearings will be open to the public, but the second will be closed due to proprietary information being discussed, the FDA said. And I'm also going to include a link from Pew Research Center. Can't even discuss it, don't want to even get in there. What I want you to do is take the time to go through there and read it. And this is just about data collection, because there's lies, damned lies, and statistics. And this article by Pew Research explains about some of the statistics and how they get that. And of course, before somebody's like, oh, they're making the actual matrix. No, they're not. This is an actual lamb in a baggie as referenced in the article. Now, I find this highly disturbing because it's beyond disturbing. And as a woman who has, I had 3 miscarriages in my life, so I know what that's like. I have 2 sons that I am remarkably proud of. And it's like, I've got one that's coming in coughing in the background. But it's like, you cannot tell me all this perversion that they're trying to do as far as with what it is to be a mother. It's from the pit of hell. Nothing more, just from the pit of hell. And so to sit there and go, oh, we're going to get rid of women. We don't need you. We've got a baggie. And you've got some of these women that they're foolish enough that they're following along with it. Of course, you've always got foolish people. So, yeah, prayers. If you've had experiences with paranormal or supernatural, encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, you can send me an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. The email address is there in the description box. Again, the links will be also in the description box. Prayers for me. I've been irritable. Oh, God, I've been irritable. Probably coming down with something, but, that means I need to start some elderberry and start it now. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Pray for kid who's allergies. He's got allergies, folks. That's why he didn't want to sit in here and cough through it. So he's in the other room coughing through it. Know that you're loved. And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup. Bye.